MIT Crypto Edition. I was on Reddit and I stumbled on some AITA stories involving crypto. Some of them were super juicy and I wanted to go over them with y'all. Who doesn't love to fall down a Reddit rabbit hole? Hello everyone, I'm Sarah Ghost and thank you for tuning in to my channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to see more content like this. Let's get into it, ghosties. So we're going to start with our first story. It's titled AITA for not giving mother my crypto password. So a little bit of child-mother disagreement here. So we'll start reading and find out more if he's the asshole or not. I, male 24, have been in the crypto scene for a while now, after my cousin introduced me to its wonders and dangers. My cousin and GF have been sincerely supportive, but my mother specifically took interest in it because she heard stories of people profiting from crypto. She made a deal with me. I multiply her money and get 25% of total profit. As a victim of the pandemic and sheer bad luck, unemployed self saw it as an opportunity to be productive and earn. I made myself, and this is starred, so they want us to know that they are self-made in the crypto scene, a personal account to test the waters. She initially gave $1,000 to start off, and things were smooth sailing then. She gradually added more. Since I am using my personal account, I decided to invest using my own funds, and soon realized how difficult it is to track the flow of money. So I urged her to make her own account to avoid confusion. She'd either refuse to make one or say, yeah, I'll make it, but proceeds to forget, in quotes, and delay week after week. Okay, this is already interesting, and I can't help interjecting because I understand wanting to help your mom invest, right? But he started his own account instead of helping his mom create her own account. And this is like confusing to me, especially because he keeps stressing how much like it's his account, but it's his account using majority of his mom's money, I think. So it's like a sticky situation, right? Because at the end of the day, it's still her money, even if it is his account. But I'm going to keep reading and give this person the benefit of a doubt. But I am skeptical of this person, to be honest. Regardless, I found success in the scene and had what I would consider pretty good calls. I'd be struggling to stay awake during graveyard shifts, even had a 36-hour run because crypto trends to be volatile when my neighbors are asleep. Okay. I had sleepless nights researching on potential tokens, which paid off with some transactions, but mother would reject most of my decisions and say she's been there, done that. I respect the fact that I was playing her money, so I made the mistake of following her call, which then led to a rather big potential loss on her portfolio. Okay, that's unfortunate. Still redeemable, but honestly, it might take her 6 months before she'll get that back. And that's what happens when you invest, to be honest. Sometimes you're going to make good calls and you're going to get a lot, and sometimes you'll make a bad one and, you'll lose some money. So I'm still not in favor of the writer, but I will keep going. It then became a vicious cycle of her decisions against mine, and loss following soon after. But today, things got heated. I finally got her to make her own account, and I was happy I could finally work in an organized fashion with her properties separate from mine. She suddenly demanded me to give her my personal account's password. She wanted to see all of the transactions that had happened in my account, which I understand, so I offered to 1. Give her screenshots. Reasonable, I think. 2. Let her view the transactions on the app while I sit beside her. She then suddenly shouts and throws a fit about me making a fool out of her, almost making it seem like I'm trying to steal her money. She said things like, that's just money, and started threatening me as if to deprive me of something like, don't touch the account or else. She wants me to halt all transactions, my account, and I know pretty well that if I do, she'll incur even more losses and use that loss against me. I'm really ready to jump ship. I've been living in hell on earth since I started sleeping under the same roof as her. Oof, that's always rough. I was renting a condo during college, and I just want to know AITA for not giving my personal crypto account's password to my mother. Okay, this is really interesting because it sounds like there's a lot of entanglement of their lives, to be perfectly honest. it's unfortunate that, so I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss because from the beginning, right, I don't understand why he didn't have her make her own account and then invest using her money in her own account. And then when he was ready to start investing with his own money, go ahead and create his own personal account and invest his money in that account. And that's really what you should do with money, right? And I think it's pretty common that, whether it's family, friends, you really need to be clear about money and understand and have clear agreements and arrangements around money, right? Because things can get so messy so quickly when you're dealing with money and people that you care about, right? It gets a little bit tough, especially when someone feels like they have to enforce something to get their money back or have a return. Always sticky, and you can end up damaging relationships that way. But I feel so bad for this person because he's technically an adult, right? He's 20. No, he's not technically. He is an adult. He's 26, but he is living in his mom's house. And if you've ever been in a situation where you are over 20 living at your parents' house, they still feel like sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they still feel a lot of I don't want to say ownership, but essentially ownership over what you do, and they feel like they can regulate you and set rules, and you have to live by them even though you are a grown adult. And you just happen to be living with your parents because that should be a safe place for you to always go to. But, everyone is different, everyone's parents are different, and it's unfortunate when those boundaries are kind of blurred and you don't have that support that you wish you had. So I totally understand that. But honestly, so far, I personally feel like they're both kind of and if you haven't noticed, I am bleeping out and abbreviating that word just because YouTube doesn't like it. But both of them are kind of assholes because it's icky. And especially, I don't know what he thought by initially mixing their money. It's very hard to keep track of whose money is who and where it's going. And when you lose money, whose money was lost, it's very sticky. It's very sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of these clarifications that he added, some edits, and maybe that might give us a little bit more insight. So he says, well, there's 5. So number 1, I didn't deprive her of any info. In fact, I emphasized that I let her view the transactions on the app while I sit beside her, which I think is fair, right? Because it is his personal money, and I don't think he has to give her necessarily the password, right? He doesn't need to do that. Number 2, I've actually decided to just give her 100% of the profit plus initial invested. It's not giving up my password over. Okay, so it sounds like, you know what? Maybe I got a little lost in the weeds. I think he's asking if he's not giving the password. Yes, I was so distracted by everything that happened before that. So no, I don't think he's the person in the wrong for not wanting to give the password. That's his personal password. That's private. That's his business. It's not right for his mom to try and basically have all access to his account, especially when he did offer a lot of alternatives to allow her to see what's happening with those transactions. Okay, 3, no cash earnings was lost/stolen. One of the main points of this post was having her account made so it could be transferred there for organizing and better handling. I couldn't make an account for her because the specific app I'm using requires identity verification for it to work. Okay. I can't magically grab her face and her IDs. Now that's just identity theft. Okay, well, if it's your mom, I'm sure it would be fine if you shared information and you made her an account. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world if you have her permission to help your mom make an account. Lots of moms aren't tech savvy. Lots of dads aren't tech savvy. Kids help their parents all the time. There, he's being a little bit dramatic, but that's okay. And then finally, when I said jump ship, I meant to leave home, not steal. No foul play happened here. Okay, so I've righted myself a little bit. I do think that he is in the right when it comes to not wanting to give the password, but I think a lot of the things that led up to what happened are a little murky, and maybe he could have done a better job at really setting up the situation in a better way. So that's my opinion. And then we're going to go through now and kind of read some of these comments and see what everyone's saying. Oh, and just checked. The overall vote is everyone sucks, which is what I was saying earlier, is that, everything is kind of messy and everything's a little bit bad and everyone's being a little bit unreasonable, except when it comes to the password. The password, I completely understand not wanting to share that. So the top rated comment is, not that. Never give your financial account passwords to anyone else, never. If you haven't already done so, give your mom back her money. Then never have any financial dealings with her again. That I do agree. They definitely should never get involved again involving money. So someone said, also again, NTA, but bro, don't be playing with someone else's money, especially in crypto. You should have made a different account for your mom. It doesn't take much to create a wallet. Also, if she was really into it, then she should have done her own research. I also want to add, if you're not sure, just put it into Bitcoin instead. And so that's also fair. Crypto is kind of like a really volatile market. Things are up, things are down, and you can't prepare yourself for what's going to happen, and you really can't prepare anyone else that's kind of putting their faith in you to go along in that ride. So definitely get that. Someone said, your mistake was trading her money and your personal account in the first place. She's not wrong for wanting access to the transactions you did on her behalf. Her mistake is assuming her right to that information also gives her rights to access yours. Again, this wouldn't be an issue at all if you hadn't used your accounts with her money. And this is a good point. This is a very fair point. Someone said NTA, but you are the idiot. Don't share accounts like that and not allow the other person access to their money. You should have just opened another account for her and kept your money separate in the first place. And I think that's so true. That things do get a little bit sticky like that, right? And I'm sure he knew what his mom was like before crypto. I don't think his mom just suddenly became someone who would demand access to his bank account and throw a fit and have a big fight overnight, right? You know how your parents are and they know how you are. And so definitely be a little bit smarter about the investments and the decisions you make, even though I do think sometimes we get stuck in our head that our parents are our parents and it should be okay, but it doesn't mean that it will be okay, So definitely both of them are in the wrong a little bit. Kind of upset about the OP, some of the decisions he made at the beginning. I wish them the best of luck. Hopefully that gets sorted without damaging their relationship. And that's a wrap. That was a little bit of a long one, so we'll just cover one today. But let me know who you think was a a-hole down below. I'd love to hear all of your opinions. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Until next time, bye.